Hello, hello, hello! It's been so long since I've seen you all. How have you been? I hope you keep that energy because I'm very, very excited because our next guest, some of you may know him as the 11th Doctor. Others of you may know him as Skynet. Still others of you may know him as Prince Phillip. I am very excited to introduce to the stage Matt Smith.
Hello, hello. Thank you very much. It's a very generous introduction. Hello, Chicago. Bonjour, ça va? Yes, I agree. Gosh, it's bright, isn't it?
It is very bright.
How are we all? How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Very, very well, thank you. Yeah, pleased to be here. I made it. I nearly didn't make it, so I'm pleased, Yeah, very pleased to be here.
So, hello.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
So we're going to have a great conversation up here. We're going
Okay.
to ask you all the things about all the things.
Oh, okay, good. What's the first thing of all?
Oh,
all
the most
things?
important one.
Okay, hit me.
So when you were announced as the Doctor,
Yes. Yes.
you were and still are the youngest person to ever have this mantle.
Yeah. I hope I keep that. I really hope I keep that.
It's a win. You should hold on to it.
Yeah. So watch out, young man in the front there.
And it's been about 10 years. Time
know.
flies,
God,
literally.
don't. Yeah. Time flies when you're getting old.
And I know there's a lot of fans out here, and I know they want to know, so we've got to ask. What was the most memorable part about being Doctor Who?
God, that's a very good question. I mean, I think probably the people. You've just seen Karen, and it's the friends. God, there's a TARDIS over there. You see, that's what's memorable. I just want to go and get in it and travel to like the planet of Zoid or something, wherever that is. There's so many things that are amazing. I think ultimately it's the people that you take with you. It's amazing to get this kind of opportunity, like the fan base that you're part of is quite extraordinary. And essentially the idea that you're so connected to time travel every day when you go to work is such a brilliant part of your imagination that you get to exist in every day. And just him as a character he's incredible. Or her now.
So this morning this afternoon I did have a chance to speak with the Amy Pond,
Yes.
your first and longest running companion.
Yes.
For many of us, the departure of the Ponds is one of the saddest things besides your departure from the show. How has it been you worked with Karen, but how has it been since leaving the show, seeing your journey and Karen's journey as you've kind of branched out into other endeavors?
Well, I mean, I'm really proud of Karen, first and foremost, and Jenna, and Arthur, and Stephen Moffat, and, everyone that's connected with that world, really. Benedict, people that we were in the same part of the world making Sherlock and Doctor Who next door to each other. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm really proud, and I feel very privileged to have been part of that group of actors.
So, fan question.
Hit me.
So I hear that you own the actual jacket that the 11th Doctor wore.
Yeah, I've got all my costumes, which are just taking up wardrobe space because I can never wear them. I might give them away, to be honest, because...
I have a lot of people who would find really great homes.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I should do that because, yeah, they're big. And I've got all the boots, which I keep, actually, because the boots were cool.
Well, I also hear that sometimes fans give you bow ties.
Yes, sometimes. Fans give me a lot of, cool and often sometimes strange things, which I like. Strange is good.
So I have a fan who wants to know, how many do you think that you have so far, and do you ever wear them?
Well, you know, if I'm honest with you, I don't wear bow ties a lot unless I'm going to like an event, in which case, you know, yeah, sometimes I wear the one you've been given. But the best one I own, I was given Patrick Troughton's actual bow tie that he wore.
Wow.
And that's in a drawer in my house.
Because I wouldn't wear it. It's an art. It's a piece of history.
It's a piece of history, and it's a great bow tie. It's really beautiful. But no, I don't wear bow ties a lot.
Okay.
Unless I'm at a premiere or something.
That fan question is answered.
Cool.
So last week was a pretty important week, and I have to admit, I did get the opportunity to interview Jodie Whittaker last week.
Oh, nice. She's cool, isn't she?
She's so lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
So I hear you had a very special way of congratulating Jodie on a voicemail where you utilized your singing voice.
I did, yeah.
Care to share with the audience?
You probably all know. I mean, I rang up and left. But just left that. And so she rang me back and was like, who the hell? Because no one knew at that point. And this is like 2 days before it was getting announced. But I remember quite vividly the anticipation that finally it's out there and you can tell people, but also the mad kind of secrecy that's involved in that announcement and in everything related to the show, really. So it was a cruel practical joke, but, you know, a funny one to my eyes.
So besides giving her a beautiful musical rendition on her voicemail,
yes,
did you give any other doctorly advice?
Well, you know, we talked briefly about it. I mean, I talked to Peter more because he inherited it off me. And I talked to David about different things. I mean, I suppose the real bit of advice is learn your lines as far in advance as you can, because you know, that's gargantuan. But also, nothing can actually prepare you for the enormity. I mean, look where we are. Look at the world that surrounds the show, and that's the bit that you can't compute to someone. You're like, and that's what Alex Kingston did to me. We sat in a restaurant, me, her, and Karen, and this was very early on before we'd filmed anything. And she said to us both, I'll never forget, you two have no idea what's going to happen to you. And she was right, because we didn't. And it's an amazing world to be, as you all know, to be part of.
So,
Smattering of applause.
So Doctor Who is very physically demanding. Also, can we clap for his socks? I know you can't see.
Well, nice shoes,
these
actually.
Socks.
Nice shoes. Right.
Well, thank you.
Right back at you.
Yeah.
They're very doctory shoes, actually. Those.
That's actually, I have actually cosplayed as a doctor.
Was that?
before.
Yeah. Well, that's
I have used these.
They're cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Doctor is physically demanding. Especially your doctor was very physically demanding.
Yes.
But I hear that you're a little clumsy.
Yep, true. I am. It's an affliction.
What do you feel like was the most challenging part physically of being the Doctor?
Well, I mean, both me and Peter have got what I call doctor's knee. We both had operations on our right knee because I think I'm right-footed, and when you run down a corridor, which there's a lot of in Doctor Who's for some reason, you see an alien or a monster, and you go, "Oh my God!" and you stop on your right knee, and there's so much jumping, and anyway, so there's that to watch out for. But also because I wanted him to be quite physical because I wanted that the chaos of his mind to be present in his body somehow.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Sort of
And it's actually a great segue to our next question.
Hit me.
So, was it a challenge to jump from being the Doctor to playing Prince Phillip in The Crown?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because they're, very different. But in between that, I played Patrick Bateman in a musical, and then did something else in between that. So you sort of, you segue via other parts, but that's what you want out acting choices, you want them to be stark and really contrasting and utterly different and, you know, challenging. Basically, if you get the part or the script and you go, oh no, impossible, then it's interesting to me.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So speaking of new scripts, you've had the opportunity to be part of so many legacy series, Doctor Who, Terminator, and now Star Wars.
I don't know what, I have no idea what you're talking about. I couldn't possibly comment. I don't know what you're, I have no idea.
I haven't even gotten to the question yet. It might be a safe question. You don't know.
Hit me.
Was there a lot of jumping around when you found out you were cast in Star Wars?
I don't know that I have been cast in Star Wars. I honestly don't. People keep telling me that I have, and I'm like, really? Well, you know, I wish JJ would tell me.
I see where this is going. I'm going to steer clear very quickly. You've made bow ties cool, saved dinosaurs, you've battled zombies, vampires, the Silence, angels. Who is the baddest baddie that you've had a chance to fight?
The Weeping Angel, I think, definitely. Yeah. They're cool, aren't they, the angels? I saw Blink again the other day in my hotel room on BBC America, and it's so good. It's such a good episode. And I just thought, wow, what an amazing concept. And he based that on a game we call Grandma's Footsteps. Have you ever played it? It's when, like, I mean, it would be hilarious to play it now, but also deadly. But basically, this is the idea. You start, so now, whoever can reach, I mean, let's not play it, but whoever can reach me first, but if I turn around and I see you, then you're out. But when I turn around, you can run up and I'm like, oh. Which, you know, I think any monster in Who that's based on the psychology of a children's game or a children's idea, or like the Silence is also, wow, there's a bird in here. Cool. Is brilliant, to be honest. So them, then the Silence, then the Silence, then the Daleks. They're the top three, I think.
All right.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, you might not even watch Doctor Who.
I watched Who?
Oh no. Okay.
I've been watching Doctor Who since I was 9.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. No. I was very excited when you.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Sweet.
So besides the project that you may or may not be on,
Yeah.
what other projects can folks be looking forward to you playing soon?
Not a lot. You know, next year's panning out the way it's panning out, but, you know, watch this space.
He looks just as cool as you think he looks saying this right now on stage.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I look cool, but I feel cool.
Isn't that all that matters?
No, I don't think so. None of my friends think I'm cool, which is annoying, but I'm like, I am cool. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am.
Well, do you want to do something cool with me? Do you want to open up the floor for fan questions?
Yeah, let's.
Let's do it.
Grandma's Footsteps, you see. But if I turned around and went, whoa, you're out. You're out.
That was brilliant.
It would be fun to play it with all of you. We could just create a mad stampede.
It's just a mass of fezzes and bow ties.
Deadly, yeah.
All right, so if you've been to any of my other panels, you know that there is one rule. Well, 2. You have to say who you are, and I see you, and I know you can do this. You came up in the last panel, and I believe in you.
It's going to be good.
And on this one, you don't have to direct who the question's for because we already know who the question's for. You got this.
Wait, I mean, it might be for you. You never know.
Oh, well. I should be so lucky.
You got this, man.
Thank you.
Hit me.
Oh, God. I'm
How's
a
it
little
going?
too tall for this, so I'm going to have to bend down. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. This is...
I know. I don't know why I'm
Fucking
leaning into you like this. It's
You're engaged. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So, my name is Erin. I'm from Chicago.
Yes.
And
I love Chicago. It's a cool town.
and we love you.
Well,
And-
flattery will get you everywhere. Thank you very much.
I was going to talk about the Queen, but then I realized how awesome you are. So I'm just going to start off by saying, were you always this chill? Were you always this cool? Were you like always this lit?
No. Well, firstly, that's very kind, and you know, appearances can be deceptive. I was a very strange child. So if you're a child and you're feeling in any way strange, don't worry. Life sort of turns out to be all right as long as you stick to your guns and you stick to your own stuff. So, you know, and like I say, most people don't think I'm cool, but you do and I do, so that's enough.
We're going to time.
All right.
All right.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Wait, are you balancing a book on your head?
Yes, I am.
Why? I mean, I like it, but why?
Because it's magical, and I'm magic.
Wow. I'm going to start doing
That's
that.
a great explanation.
Thank you.
Just wake up with a book on my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh,
attached.
wow, it's proper.
It's not attached, it's just me.
It's an actual book.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
cool.
my name's Megan. I'm from Chicago. What up, Chi-Town?
What up? What up? What up? Also, I'm a Bulls fan, by the way. Just throwing
Oh,
that out there.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I
It's okay.
digress.
So I have a question about if you could pick any companion, an historical figure as a companion, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Bloody hell, that's why you've got a book on your head. That's a good question. Right. Well, do you know what? Weirdly enough, he's not well, he is a sort of historical figure. I always thought a really good episode of Doctor Who, it's a bit close to home this, but I thought if the Doctor picked up Prince Phillip, it would be quite funny. Especially if he was a bit older and a bit grumpier. I think that would be quite cool. I also think, who else? This is a really good question. Who would you pick, alive or dead?
Probably Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol. Bloody hell, that's good as well. Okay, so let's pick one more. Andy Warhol, Prince Philip, all in one episode, and let's think. Who would you pick?
Prince.
Prince. Wow, done. Andy Warhol, Prince, and Prince Philip. That is a nuts episode of Doctor Who. Yeah, welcome to the time warp. That's what it's called. Good question.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
My name is Wendy.
Hello, Wendy.
Hi. So I met you a long time ago when they had the Doctor Who convention in Cardiff.
Yes.
So I wanted to know, like, what are some of your best memories of when you lived and worked in Cardiff? I
Oh.
used to live in Wales.
The rain. The rain. The rain. No, look, I love the Welsh, and I have such fond memories of that place and the friends I made there, and also, you know, when you first get there, it feels like this alien world, literally, because you have to move your life there. And then, you know, I lived by the water in the bay, and that was really lovely. And the crew, basically, we just had the best time, and I was proud of what we achieved. So probably that, in essence, I think. Thank you.
Hi,
Hi.
my name's Jacob.
Hello,
and,
Jacob.
My question is, well, during the 50th anniversary, we loved your interactions with David Tennant and John Hurt.
Yeah.
And we absolutely exploded when Tom Baker came out at the very, very end. And my question is, if you could choose another past Doctor to do an episode with, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's hard.
It's a toughie.
You swine. Look, here's the thing. It's like I am the same person, so I love them all equally more than each other, essentially. But I'd love to do an episode with David. That would be fun, I think, or Chris. But I would love to do an episode with Patrick Troughton, because I loved Patrick Troughton, and I think Tomb of the Cybermen, which, if none of you have seen that, it's a Troughton episode, and I think it is the best and the scariest that they've ever been. So maybe a Cyberman Troughton episode.
Excellent.
Thank you. Good question.
Hi, Matt. My name is Sophie. Nice to see you.
Hello.
It's such an honor to be speaking with you. The 11th Doctor will always be my doctor.
Yes.
In the spirit of Halloween in October, what's your favorite fall time activity?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I was basking in the glory of your first comment.
In the spirit of October and Halloween, what's your favorite fall time activity?
I'll tell you what my bloody birthday, in fact, actually, on the 28th.
Happy early birthday, Matt.
I'm going to be 36. I got old.
Hey, wait a minute. Some of us were born in the same year you were in. I'm not old.
Matt,
36,
you don't look
good.
1 minute over 20.
Oh,
Oh my God, I have an idea. Before we go to the next question, does everybody want to sing happy birthday to Matt?
No. Well,
Oh, but this is
it's
all
actually
about,
both.
this is all
Well,
about
you do it to me, I'm throwing it back at you.
All right.
Actually, that's very kind. Is
But-
it anyone's birthday today?
Oh, uh-oh.
What's your name? What is?
Can we bring her to the mic?
Tori what? Tori spelling?
Hi.
90210?
My name's Tori Apple.
Tori Apple?
Yeah.
That's a great name.
It's like a name from a children's magic book.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear me, you and Tori Apple. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you too.
Happy birthday, Tori Apple.
That was brilliant.
Question.
Well, it was a team effort.
Okay.
It's your mum's birthday. Not bothered. No, I'm only joking. Happy birthday, Mum. We love mums.
All right, Tori, if you have a question,
Hi.
quickly, because there's
Yeah, I
someone
do.
behind you.
Sorry, yeah. So I've only seen one episode of Doctor Who, the one with Jodie
And we just
Whittaker.
sang happy birthday to
I
you.
know,
God, that
I'm
was
sorry. but
blood and
I know,
sand.
I'm sorry. But I was gonna
You've got
ask,
a lot of making up to do.
This
I
better
know.
be a good question.
I know. I was gonna ask, how would you convince me to keep watching Doctor Who?
Doctor Who? What? I'll tell you why. Because it's about
I'm sorry.
an alien that's over 1,000 years old who can travel anywhere in time and space, past, present, or future. He saves or she saves the day by being clever, funny, witty, and a pacifist. He's not aggressive, but he hates wood. Just because his sonnet doesn't work on it. He's mad as a box of frogs, time a million, and he's got a blue box that's bigger on the inside. That's why. Definitely watch Doctor Who. You should. It's honestly, you won't regret it. It's good.
Thank you.
Pleasure. And happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
That was the best. You should just go around the world. Just.
Well, I
saying.
think it's the best.
Awesome. My name's Chris, and one of my favorite episodes is The Day of the Doctor.
Yes.
Great anniversary episode.
Yes.
And as we've already seen that you're pretty much ageless, when the next anniversary comes around, would you consider reprising the role and joining 13?
Yes.
I'll take that.
Definitely.
Hi, my name is Carolyn.
Hello, Carolyn.
I came up from Oklahoma City.
Oh, how far's that?
Well, from here to Oklahoma.
But how far is that? Oh, is it like an hour?
I
Is it like
flew.
10 hours?
I slept through the entire flight.
Oh,
We
okay.
got on a plane at like 5 o'clock this morning. So
Oh, wow.
No
Okay.
idea.
Have you ever seen Doctor Who?
You weren't supposed to ask that. So
Well,
Maybe
this is my
she's a
hu-
fan of the crown.
okay, go on.
This is my husband, and he is a huge fan.
Right.
And we sat down and watched the 13th Doctor's first episode the other night.
Lovely. Well
and
done.
I have not seen your Doctor.
Doesn't matter.
I just haven't had time. I probably will.
Yes,
It'll
that's
be
fine.
But my question is,
Yes.
so female doctor,
Yes.
you're all the same person.
Yes.
You, as a doctor, in your mind, you wake up tomorrow and you wake up as a woman. What do you think? What goes through your head?
I was never meant to be a woman. That's what I think. Hey, I'll try anything once. Why not? Still not Ginger. Soon to be.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Riley, and I just had to ask, what was your favorite episode to film?
Very, very good question.
That's a tough one.
Do you know what was really good is we were in Croatia for Vincent and the Doctor and the Vampires in Venice. And we got to be abroad and just have a great time. And Tony Karam was amazing. And we just had a right old giggle together. And we were, it was like being on some sort of school trip. But, as Doctor Who. So it was cool. Probably them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm
Hey.
here from Chicago.
Chicago, cool.
Yeah. So as an actor, where do you get a lot of your inspiration from a lot of the characters that you play?
Very good question. Well, I sort of think you get it from the world, really. That's the great thing about being an actor. Like, it forces you to look up and out and engage in things that you wouldn't ever. And also it allows you to be a bit of a detective. So if you're playing Prince Phillip, you get to suddenly study the 40s and the 50s in Great Britain. And I learned so much about the history of my country that I just had no idea about. When you're playing the Doctor, I don't know where you begin. I went, who's the cleverest person that's ever lived? Albert Einstein. Let's go to him. And he was mad. So yeah, it's you get it from the world, from looking up and engaging in the things that are in front of you, if that makes sense.
Thanks.
All right.
Hi, Matt. I'm Jill, and I want to compliment you for making Prince Philip more dashing than he truly is. So my quick question to you is,
Yeah.
have you ever been invited to Buckingham Palace, or have you met any of the royal family?
Yes and yes. I've been to the palace, yes. And I have met members of the royal family, yes. But never, sadly, Philip, who I'd love to, but he doesn't watch The Crown, so I'd just be like, who the hell are you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
First, I want to say I love you. You're amazing.
Well,
and your doctor is the one that made me laugh and cry the most. You're so amazing.
Love making people cry.
So, my question actually just got stolen, so sorry if this question seems kind of stupid, but my question to you is, what is your favorite moment on set?
Do you know what I used to love doing? It's a shame Karen's panel was first, because I used to hide in her trailer in her shower. And it sounds worse than it is, guys, don't worry. And she's quite jumpy, Karen. So when she'd come in, I'd go, ah, and she would just lose her mind. And then Arthur would be in a different cupboard and he'd go, rah. It's sort of essentially playing any joke on Karen throughout the day. Used to make me and Arthur happy.
Thank you.
Hi, Matt. I'm Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi.
It's a nice name.
Thank you. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, seen all of it. Excellent. But I've noticed since you stopped being the Doctor, a lot of your roles have been historical figures. I am really creepily excited to see your take on Manson and see how that goes. What is another historical figure that you just can't wait to sink your teeth into?
Ooh, that's a bloody good question. Well, he might not have any resonance to you, but there's a poet called Ted Hughes, who's my favorite poet. And if any of you are interested in poetry, you should get a book called The Birthday Letters, which is it's a book of poems. Anyway, he was married to a woman called Sylvia Plath, who was also a poet. But there's an amazing story there. And I tell you what, Google him. I could play Ted Hughes, I reckon. So I wanna, maybe him one day, somehow, somewhere.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Zaylee.
Hey.
My question is, who inspired you in the most of becoming a actor and for the role of Doctor Who or Prince Philip or anyone in general?
Very good question. Well, I was lucky enough to have a teacher, and I think if you're if you get one teacher in your life who's really changed it in some way, I think you're very lucky. He was called Mr. Hardingham, and he was convinced I should be an actor, and I thought I shouldn't. And he really persisted with me, and he rang my mum, and he sort of made me do it, and it changed the course of my life in many ways. And what was the second part of your question, please?
That was it.
That was it. Well, it was a good question. Mr. Harding. Hey.
Hi, I'm Kat.
Hi.
I have seen that you like Radiohead.
Love Radiohead.
I was just wondering what's your favorite song or album?
Kid A, Idiotechnique. Good question.
Hi, I'm Natalie.
Hi.
I'm from Chicago, so
Yes.
if you need anyone to show you around, hit me up.
Thank you very much.
My Instagram is @NatCarpisa.
What?
So I just wanted to say real quick that I've been watching you since I was in 5th grade, and it's been amazing, like seeing you kind of grow as an actor throughout time. And my question for you is, in what ways do you embody your role as the 11th Doctor, versus what ways are you different from that role?
Well, I'm not as, this is the thing about playing the Doctor, is you can't ever amount to the person that he or now she is. But what was amazing about it is when you're playing any character, like if you're playing Prince Phillip, for instance, you realize he always walked with his hands sort of behind his back because he was in the Navy. And I would find myself involuntarily walking around my house with my hands behind my back. But with the Doctor, you're playing a Time Lord with two hearts who's over 1,000 years old, who, let's face it, is nuts. In the best ways, as all the best people tend to be. But so you get to sort of spend time with these people in a very... So, you know, as an exercise, I would go, it sounds really stupid, but this is what being an actor is. I'd go, right, I'm going to run a bath. And then I'd go, how would the Doctor run a bath? And then, kids, don't try this at home, but, you know, I'd run a bath as the Doctor sort of thing, and it becomes infinitely more interesting. Because you're like, well, you put a cake in it, or, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you still go through this whole, how would the Doctor do this?
Well, you know, not so much anymore, but whenever I see Doctor Who, it's sort of, I just love that character, so I love him. I think he's, you know, amazing. Yeah.
Hi, Matt. My name's Allison. I'm from St. Louis. I was just wondering if you could add any button to the TARDIS console, what would it do?
Ooh.
That's a bloody brilliant question. It would be a button that turns swans into cats that can speak French. And then they'd come out, and then they'd turn into Amy Pond, and then they'd turn back into a swan, and they'd go back in. That's what I'd do. I'd add the swan, cat, French, Amy Pond button.
Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Time Lord. Very well, thank you.
My name's Jonathan. My question for you is, it's about David Tennant, because as we all know, he was a brilliant doctor as well.
Yeah.
So,
one of the greats.
When you have somebody like that who's brilliant at their role, what is your philosophy in trying to fill in his shoes? And how much of that is you and how much is the writing?
Good, this is very, God, you bloody well done, Chicago. These are very, you know.
They prepared for you. Like,
Yeah.
they studied.
I know.
They got ready.
I know.
Except for the one person who's only seen one
hasn't
episode
seen
of
it?
Doctor Who.
Tory Apple. Honestly, you sing someone happy birthday and then you realise they don't watch Doctor Who. The cheek.
She's going to run home and watch all the episodes now.
I mean, you better, Tory Apple, you better start watching Doctor Who, otherwise we will find out. No, I'm only joking. So it's very difficult, is the truth, when you take over from David Tennant, who was so brilliant, and also Russell was so brilliant. He was such a brilliant writer, and David was so beloved. And I would walk down the street and people would be like, "Oi, mate, I can't swear, but don't break Doctor Who." You'd be like, "Oh, I won't, I'm sorry, please, like me." But Doctor Who is like Hamlet, really, in that it has to be so idiosyncratic to you and your personality and your bones and your physical makeup and your choices. And I was lucky in that I had Stephen Moffat, and I think he was one of the only people that could have taken over. And, you know, I defy anyone to go, who likes Doctor Who, to go, actually, as a piece of writing, the 11th Hour isn't utterly brilliant, because it is, I think. So yeah, I was lucky that I had Stephen, and you just got to be brave and take the plunge and do it your way. Good question.
All right, next.
Hi, Matt. I'm Carrie. I'm from Hawaii, and I'm like in awe to be standing here right now, so sorry.
I know, I find it odd as well, so it's fine.
My question was just, do you have a favorite line or scene or episode or any of that from any of your Doctor Who time?
Yeah, God, that's, again, I have quite a lot, actually. There's a lot of wonderful lines. There's like, I was only meant to say Geronimo once, and then I just kept saying it. I just kept adding it in, and then suddenly it was like, you know, and then I campaigned for a hat. I kept going to Stephen Moffat, please, give me a hat, give me a hat. I just want a hat. Why? Because I don't want a hat. They're cool. I would like to wear a hat. And then I read the episode, and it says, the Doctor gets a fez. And then, I don't know if you can remember, as soon as I'm like, look at my hat, rah, rah, River blows it up.
Yes.
So I quite liked Fez as a call as well, because, you know, it was so silly, and it was Stephen just... Yeah, there you go. And they are cool. They're weird. They're cool and weird.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hello.
My name is Mango. We've actually met before, and you're my favorite Doctor, and you've actually inspired me to like keep acting, even though
Good.
my mom was kind of like, maybe not. Also, I wanted to ask your opinion on my cat.
On your cat?
Yeah.
Can it turn back into a swan is the real question.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. Yeah, then I'm you know, yeah, I love cats.
Thank you so much.
I'm a pro cat person. Woo! Keep acting. Don't give up. But listen to your mum as well. But like, not always. But like 99.9% of the time. In fact, always listen to your parents, kids.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry.
Okay, I'm Emma. You're
Come closer to the mic for us a little bit.
Step into the mic.
Sad to say, your second favorite Doctor. Tennant's always best.
No, that is what the show is about. Who's your favorite Doctor? It doesn't have to be me. Like,
But there's two different types of Doctors though. For real, are you talking about original Who, or are we talking
doesn't
about
matter.
reboot Who?
I think you can only have one favorite, guys.
I have two favorite Doctors. One is Tom Baker from original Who.
Yeah.
And there's a secret that I'm not supposed to tell you, but I do have a bow tie tattoo. So I'm not going to say who my second favorite Doctor is.
Gangster.
Okay,
Oh, it's the David Tennant fan, isn't it?
What are
Yeah,
your
come on.
opinions?
Give us your question.
What are your opinions on Tennant?
You got this. I believe in you.
Opinions on David Tennant.
I love David's one of my good friends. I love him. He's like the nicest man on the planet. And also, he's one of our greatest actors and greatest exports. I mean, I love David Tennant. He's amazing. Amazing man. And he's a lovely, lovely, genuine, and for those of you that have met him, that's genuinely how he is. He's that nice. Hello.
Hey, what's up? My name's Brandon. I'm from Pittsburgh. I know the Doctor is a superhero in his own right, but if you could play any hero from Marvel or DC, who would it be and why?
Batman. Because Batman, or it would be Batman or the Joker. I mean, that world, basically, somewhere between Batman and the Joker, that's where I'm at. And also, let's get one thing straight. Doctor Who's the greatest superhero of them all, I think. No one else can time travel, can they? Can they time travel, the other guys?
Time and space. This would be very real.
Oh, okay.
It makes it a big. It's even bigger of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Ethan, and I just want to say you are one of my favorite doctors. I actually started off with you. You are my first doctor. I started off late, but yeah.
You never forget your first doctor.
Exactly.
No,
And it was my second, so I went backwards. But since you may or may not be in Star Wars, I just have one question.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a Sith or a Jedi?
I don't even know what those are. I have no idea. What is Star Wars? Oh, it's that science. It's the space thing, isn't it?
Be careful. There are a lot of Star Wars
Yeah.
fans in here.
Yeah.
All right, well, how about an alternate question? What color lightsaber would you like to have, if you could have one?
What's a lightsaber? Oh, that's
I think they're holding some up back
that's
there
the-
for you
yeah.
as demonstration.
But do you know what? I'd take a purple one because it looks kind of groovy. Purple or red.
Done.
Or green or blue, you know.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
It's Deadpool.
I love
Yeah.
Deadpool, by the way.
Hi, I'm Drake. I'm from Wisconsin. I was wondering, how was it working with like David Tennant and John Hurt on Day of the Doctor?
Brilliant. I'd always admired Johnny Hurt, and he's one of our great British actors, and you know he was a sad loss when he passed on. So for me, that was a chance to work with one of the greats. And you know the funny thing about David is he was Chris was the first Doctor I really watched properly, and then I went forward, and then I went back. But I did it in quite a strange way. But it doesn't really matter with Doctor Who. But whenever I see Chris or David, I go, oh my God, it's Doctor Who. And then I go, oh my God, I'm Doctor Who. And I sort of can't get that out of my head that they're Doctor Who. So it was amazing.
So I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that we have one more question.
Yes.
The bad news is that we have one more question.
Yes.
So I'm so sorry for everyone else in line. The last question belongs to this young man right there at
Yes.
the mic.
Hello, my name is Nick. I'm from Wisconsin. And my question to you is, what is the funniest moment that you made on stage?
Wow, it's a very good question, my friend. Do you know what it was with me? I was quite clumsy, and for Karen, it was she used to like seeing me do stupid things. Not stupid things, but if I fell over or hit my head or did whatever. And one day, there was someone on set who was nice or whatever, so I sort of went over and was like, oh, hey. And there was a light stand next to me. And these light stands are quite big, and in the middle of it, they have a little nozzle, which if you lean on, it can sort of go up or it can go down. And I thought I was being really cool and went over and went, yeah, zoom, bang, and it hit me on the head. And Karen fell about laughing. And it was funny, although it hurt. Thank you. Go on, young boy in the fez.
Oh.
Yeah, go on. Ask.
We can't say no to a fez.
Yeah, we can't say no to a fez. Hit me, brother, hit me.
All right, so are you going to be in a episode of Jodie Whittaker?
Am I? Well, no. If I'm honest with you, young man, I doubt it, because she is the Doctor, and she's got to go on her adventures and save the universe. It's down to her now. But yeah, never say never. But I can't lie to you, man. Do you know what I mean? No is the honest answer.
By the way, you are the best Doctor.
Yes. Thanks, mate.
I can't actually think of a better way to end our questions. Our last question, and I love asking this question to everyone who comes up. So everyone has superheroes.
Yes.
You had an amazing teacher. You seem to have brilliant influences in your life that you have made along the way.
Yeah.
Who is your personal superhero right now?
In the world? God, that's a good question. Look, I mean, my dad was the biggest influence on my life, really, to be honest with you, and remains it. You know, I think if you're lucky in life, you've got good people, you've got kind of different types of superheroes everywhere, real and imaginary, if that makes sense, on screen and off screen. And so, you know, I'm very fortunate to have a good family. Probably them, man. Probably I know that's a bit like, oh, boring. My family, or whoever scores the most goals for Blackburn Rovers, which is my football team, which at the moment is a guy called Bradley Dack. Him.
So, brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one more task that we must do. We must take a picture with this beautiful audience that's been here for you.
Yeah.
So we're just going to stand up.
Okay.
All right, audience, this is what you got to do. We're going to turn around.
Yep.
But you're going to get up, and you're going to be as excited as I know you are to be in this picture. All right, you ready?